Hey, what's up guys, Matt Shine here, come back with a brand new video for you guys. We got an absolutely jam-packed one for you guys today. First up, we gotta point out some very false information that's being spread by another YouTuber. After that, we're gonna be talking about the Stockholm capsules. After that, we're gonna be talking about the one Stockholm item that's currently offering a 94.7 return on opening. And then we're going to be talking about the overall general statistics that have come out for Pickems. But before we hop on into that one, I just want to ask you guys to subscribe, and let's hop on into it. First up here, we're going to be talking about a YouTuber by the name of CYKAHOTFIRE'S. Now, I'm sure you've heard of him. He's pretty notorious in the CSGO investing scene. I've got an entire video talking about him here. But the main thing I want to talk about here is a video that was just recently uploaded called Which Major Capsules Should You Buy? He talks about pretty much the most general advice you can speak of, basically saying that you want to invest into the capsule that's going to give the most profit. Well, really, never would have guessed that one. But he makes one very bold statement about a minute and a half into the video that I found was just so off course from where CSGO investing is that I had to point it out. At a minute and 38, he says, quote, "Supply is more important than how the stickers look." Basically saying that it doesn't matter how the stickers look, the supply is always going to be the most important factor in any situation. I found this to be one of the worst claims I've ever heard. I mean, this is honestly laughable how obviously wrong this is, and let's take a look at how wrong this is. We're going to be heading over to the major tournament sticker sale amount sold. That's what I have the document titled as. Basically, it shows the amount of capsules that were purchased at each major tournament at the end of Berlin 19. It does not have Stockholm 2021, but that doesn't really matter. The main two we're going to be looking at are Katowice 2015 and London 2018. In this situation with Katowice 2015 and London 2018, we had about 10,000 challengers and 15,000 legends for Katowice 2015, which is significantly more than what we saw in London 2018. This is very important because by CYKAHOTFIRE'S logic, London 2018 should be significantly more valuable than 2015 because London 2018 had a lower amount purchased or a lower supply. It doesn't matter about the demand in his statement here. This is very important because when we head over to the Steam community market to check the current prices of these capsules, you're going to be finding something that's quite off from what his analysis said. Just to remind you of what CYKAHOTFIRE'S analysis says very generally, it's basically that Katowice 2015 is going to be less expensive than London 2018 here, considering there was less London 2018 capsules purchased. But when we go ahead and look on the Steam community market, we're going to be seeing something that doesn't really line up that well with what he said. We're going to be seeing the London capsules roughly around that $7 to $10 range. Well, that doesn't really matter considering we're comparing it to Katowice 2015. Therefore, a Katowice 2015 capsules are less than that, his analysis would be correct. But when we look at Katowice 2015 capsules, we're going to be finding that one's at $250, the other is at $700, meaning that in the most extreme example here, he is off by 100 times, meaning that Katowice 2015 is 100 times more expensive than London here, and in the least extreme example, he's off by 25 times, that Katowice 2015 is only 25 times as expensive as London. Now, this is not the major point of the video, it's something that was just so laughable that I had to point it out, but let's talk about Stockholm here. Now, I have really not talked about Stockholm much because I try to keep my content as fluid as possible. I don't want to specifically focus in on one thing which is reactive to the market. It's something that I do like to make videos about occasionally, but when you start making every single video about it, it gets quite annoying. Now, the big information about the Stockholm capsules here is definitely that 2021 Challengers stickers. Now, we're talking about the inside of the actual capsule here. It's obviously got to be that mouse gold. That mouse gold has gone up significantly in price. Currently, it's listed at $280 on the Steam community market. Would like to warn you though, the really biggest buy order that we see here is $50 less at $230. Just to put that into perspective, that's literally the price of the Pain Gaming Gold right below it, the second most expensive sticker in the capsule here. So the majority of the reason that this sticker capsule is being pushed up in price is definitely the mouse sticker, whether it's the foil or the gold or the hollow here. That is the main reason this capsule is going up in price. Plus, we're seeing a lot of people try to hop into it now, kind of potentially maybe scared of missing out on a lot of profit here, considering we've seen this capsule go tenfold on its price since its original purchase price at 25 cents after the sale. Now for me personally, on the screen right now is all of the investments I have made into Stockholm 2021, plus a couple packages that we're going to get to in just a minute. Those are the things that are offering almost a 95% return, and it's honestly the most surprising thing I found and pretty much the reason I'm making this video. But talking about the capsules here, I sold off 100 capsules of the Challengers 2021 for around $1.80 to $1.90 right as Antwerp released. What I didn't tell people is I went ahead and invested that money back into a different sticker capsule. I took that around $150 that I got from selling my items in the Steam community market, and I went ahead and purchased around 100 of the Contenders capsule. I did save a little bit of money because I wanted to buy some capsules for Antwerp right as they came out, have a little extra funds there just to be on the safer side there, but I went ahead and purchased a little bit of the Contenders capsule here because I still thought it had a lot more room to grow than the current Challengers capsule that was already sitting at almost $2 prior to when I sold it. It just seemed a little suspicious to me that the Contenders capsule was kind of lacking compared to the Challengers. That was just my thought process, but we've seen a lot of stickers like the Entropic Hollow and the Entropic Foil that really rival the Mouse Hollow and the Mouse Foil, but just in a green format, and I thought they could definitely hold a similar price point down the line. Moving on into our third topic of the video, I told you it was a jam-packed one here. We're going to be talking about these Stockholm patch packs. Now this is something I will take completely full responsibility of. I called these things extremely stupid, and I still kind of stand by that. I think overall the product is pretty below par for something that Valve could release. I don't like the patches themselves, but I can't really argue with the facts here. So we're going to be looking at all three patch packs here. We're going to be looking at the rate of return if you were to open it. First up here, we've got the Legends. The Legends is currently sitting at a $1.40 price point, and the prices we took for all the patches came straight from CSGO Stash. So there might be a little bit of variability there, but it's something that is still pretty close, relatively speaking. They take these top Steam community market listing and use that as their price point. The Legends, if you were to open it, you'd get around $1.05 total return, meaning you're getting about a 75% return percentage, which is not terribly low, but it's not really something that is too high to be investing into, considering it doesn't really hold any high value items. This is something we see a decent amount with the sticker capsules that you can purchase for $1. They usually offer maybe a 90% return, but you don't really have any high value items, so you're just slowly losing money without really any chance of making money. This is why cases are so incentivizing, because you can open up a knife that's worth potentially $10,000 for just that value of maybe $3 if you're buying a Spectrum 2 case plus a key, but in this case you really don't have anything that's super high value you can go for. After that, we're going to be moving on into the Challengers patch pack here, which offers a pretty significant increase. We're looking at around a $2.19 price point to open, and on average you're going to be receiving about a $1.98 back, which is a significant improvement over the Legends. As a 15% difference, leaving us with a return percentage of about 90.5%, which is extremely high. And in this case, you do have that chance to make profit because we're looking at that Mouse Gold at around $18, which is significantly higher than any price point we saw in the Legends capsule, which is quite crazy because usually it goes as the more variability you open in the price points, you're usually going to decrease your overall return percentage, but here for the Challengers that is not the case. Finally, moving on into the big hitter here, we've got the Contenders patch pack, which currently offers a 94.7% on return when you open it. That's coming with a price point of $1.91 to open, but you can grab it for $1.81 off the Steam community market with a buy order, and the total return for this capsule is going to be $1.81 minus 0.2 of a cent. That really doesn't matter, we're rounding up here, meaning that if you bought it for the buy order of $1.81, say that was your buy order, and you theoretically got the amount you should, this would be a 100% return percentage, which is absolutely crazy. It's not something we see commonly. Obviously, we've got fees on Steam, so this is not theoretically going to be profitable, but it's quite crazy that something at this price point, especially $1.90, for something I've made fun of so significantly and so often, is currently sitting at a position where I actually invested into 9 of these off buff. Let's see if they actually come in. I assume so, but it offers a decent amount of potential that I would invest into it. Finally then, we've got one more thing I want to hit on, and that is the Pickem statistics. Now this has an entire sample of 119 people. That's very important because it is a decent size, but it's not everyone. It's not coming from Steam. This is a voluntary survey these people filled out. So it's very important when you look at that, because something like IHC we've got one person having them move on, they could have did that as a joke. But in this situation, we can see that pretty much everyone's got G2, ENCE, Vitality, Astralis, Outsiders, Team Liquid moving on, and then it starts to vary off a little bit. It's not something I want to elaborate on too significantly. I just did find it quite interesting that the number 1, 2, and 3 picks for the 3-0 is ENCE, which I could definitely see, but then we've got Bad News Eagles and MIBR. That's why I say there could definitely be a little bit of bias here because it doesn't actually matter. People might be using Bad News Eagles as their 3-0 because they want them to, and it doesn't really matter here. So it definitely leaves up a little bit for interpretation about how strict this data actually should be interpreted, but I definitely thought it was quite interesting and I wanted to share it with you guys. But that is really all I have for today, guys. I want to thank you guys so much for sticking around in this long one, but as always, I hope you have a great rest of your day.